Well, can't recall a start of the season when the champions were treated quite like Glasgow treated Connacht last week. So, can they bring that form into this, their first home game, and on the new surface too? But Leinster also looking to make it 2 from 2. Great anticipation here then. Glasgow, 2 changes from last week, and both of them in the front row. Fraser Brown starts at hooker, and Sila Puafisi is in at prop. Keeping his place, of course, is the Lion hopeful and co-captain this season, Johnny Gray. He's at lock. The back line is unchanged. Purgos and Horn combining again with no Finn Russell. Johnson and Dunbar, plus this exciting back three. Seymour, Hogg, and the Italian signing, Leonardo Sato. To Leinster, winners in week 1 against Treviso, and one change in their front row as James Tracy starts at hooker after his try-scoring introduction against the Italians. Geordie Murphy is the other, and he plays at number 8 today. Behind the scrum, another chance for Joey Carberry, impressive in the season opener. Dave Carney is in on the wing, and Zane Kirshner is a late change in for Fergus McFadden, who pulled up in the captain's run yesterday. Luke McGrath is captain, and the replacements, Alex Allen and Lee Jones onto the Warriors bench, and Pete Dooley and Tyg Furlong, Leinster's backup props today, their first outings of the season. Quite a week off the field for Leinster with the arrival of England's former head coach Stuart Lancaster. He's had his first just about full week with the team, and it's all been, of course, under the overall direction of head coach Leo Cullen, who is in position to talk to Graham Simmons.
You start with selection. You've gone for 3, in inverted commas, open sides in the back row. Is that to try and take on Glasgow at their own game, or conversely to stop Glasgow playing their own game?
Yeah, I think we've got good balance. Some of those players you mentioned have a bit of versatility, but Jordy's played quite a lot at 8. Dan at 6 and 7. Josh is more consistently at 7. But yeah, we've a couple of other back rowers unavailable at the moment, but it's a very competitive area, so we're lucky that we've got some pretty decent resources there.
Reading an Irish newspaper this week where the journalist was suggesting that perhaps it's a bit early in the season for Leinster to be taking on the might of Glasgow away. Any truth in that, do you think, bearing in mind you're a few men short?
Yeah, it's always a bit of a difficult challenge because we've a player welfare programme for our national players, so they come back in to the equation a little bit later. You'll see some guys slowly but surely integrate into the group, so it does place a bit more strain on our squad. Great opportunity for some of our younger players, so I'm really excited to see how some of them get on today.
Joey Carberry kicks?
Yeah, we'll see how he goes now. Joe, obviously Fergus McFadden was a late withdrawal. He would normally kick, but Joey will take on those responsibilities.
Yeah, good man. Thanks so much indeed.
Sold out here today. Over 7,000 in the ground these days. And the pitch looks, well, green. Most do, to be fair, at this time of the year. But this one will all season, suiting Glasgow's pacey ways. And the crowd ready to welcome their heroes onto this new pitch. And the man in charge of the Warriors is, of course, Gregor Townsend with Grant.
If you can hear me, Gregor, above the roar of this crowd, how is your new carpet? And to what extent do you have to adapt to the way you play slightly to get the most out of it?
Yeah, well, we've had 5 sessions on it this week, and the first day wasn't great. I don't think the players had the correct footwear, and we're falling around a little bit, and we're a bit overexcited, but as the week's gone on, we've got better, and the general feeling is it's really good. The players like it. It will mean a very fast game today.
You crushed the champions last week. You have the runners-up here today. How do you beat them?
Well, it's going to be very tough. They've always been excellent around the breakdown. They picked 3 open sides today, so that we need to get quick ball against them. We've got to stop them getting quick ball. They've got real good depth in the back line too, so no, we will always have really good battles with them, and I expect this to be another one.
Gregor, thanks very much indeed. Enjoy the day. Miles, up to you. Break down everything, it seems.
And the man looking very closely at it, most closely, is John Lacey of Ireland, our referee. Dave Carney of Leinster is on the player mic.
Well, it's fast track for a fabulous back 3. Leonardo Sato made a superb hard-working start in Galway last week, while Tommy Seymour was scoring tries on the other flank. Stuart Hogg, he was making them and scoring them. Watch out for the home back three.
7, 6, 5, 4.
Conditions could not be better, both overhead and underfoot.
This is the PRO12.
The rain of yesterday long gone. Hardly matters now anyway in these parts with this artificial pitch. Let's see what it does for especially the Warriors. It's their turf, trained on it all week. For the first time they've had a full week on it. Carberry goes back, gets it into touch, and on the touch line for us, it's Rory Lawson. Good afternoon, Rory.
Good afternoon, Miles. This synthetic pitch has been watered this morning, which may sound bizarre, but it protects the players against the heat primarily, and then also the burns. It's going to be fast. Having spoken to the S&C coach earlier, they have seen record speeds from their back three out here this week. So there's going to be a fast-paced game, which this early in the season is going to be a challenge on the legs and the lungs.
That's not straight for me.
That one not straight from Fraser Brown, coming into the side to start as hooker. Be disappointed with that. And it is a warm day here as well. That will possibly take its toll around the hour mark and through to the final whistle.
Interesting call, wasn't he, Fraser Brown? Because if you remember, one aspect of Glasgow's game that didn't go well in Galway against the champions, Connacht, was the scrum. So I think Gregor Townsend, bringing Puafisi and Brown in, has looked to eradicate the problems in the scrum. As so often the way, the line-out goes wrong first throw.
Just keeping an eye on the time for these scrums. Of course, the new instruction, teams must be ready to form a scrum within 30 seconds of the scrum being awarded. No problem here. Referee intervenes and gives the free kick. That was well under 30. It's good to see that kind of law amendment that points at the game being played at a faster pace. So many times it's been slowed down by teams deliberately, and that's what the referees will really look out for, that time wasting. McGrath captaining the side in the absence of Ethan Lefewa. Just the third time that he's led Leinster. And they're rather different colours, this luminous away kit.
Our feet, don't leave it. Thank you.
There's the skipper again. Little chip through. Sato, 6'4", rangy runner, made a strong start against Connacht. That's not so good.
Just into touch.
Through the eye of the needle, wrong needle.
That was classic Leonardo Sato. It doesn't look flash, it doesn't look that exciting, but it gets you a front foot. Some nice play from Joey Carberry. Showed the ball one way past the other, comes out the other way, puts a kick in. And again, Sato's going backwards, and you think he's pinned. 1 foot held, just gets through that tackle, gives his team a target.
And we're not straight again.
If this is a game of darts, we're going to be waiting a long time till we get to the final double. Shocking throw there. James Tracy.
A single one for each of them so far.
Yeah. And got a new surface. We've got unusual, I think it's fair to say, unusual Glasgow conditions. And I don't think there's any excuse for inaccurate throwing at the moment. Just early season nerves, maybe.
The corresponding fixture between these two last year
Bind.
was postponed. One of the 3 or 4 games that were lost on this ground, which made the call not inevitable because there's still the finance to find, but when he was there and it has delivered this surface. No more postponements. Well played by Johnson, got himself out of a hole, a bit Horn-like in the way he did that, and there is Peter Horn, who kicks for the corner. Rob Carney over that hamstring problem. And who's graced the Lions jersey in previous years. So too Stuart Hogg on the last tour, 2013, but he was, well, that's midweek then. Might not be the case somewhere in New Zealand. Hogg, certainly the evidence of last week. Starting the season in cracking form, and that has worked out rather well, and a shot goal for Henry Pyrgos.
And another man who started the season very well, the goal kicker Henry Pyrgos. Very intelligent player. Wasn't a great
Well, there. The kicking game is obviously going to be a big part of today. We heard Luke talk at the top of the show about the kicking game. Leinster have to kick very well tactically to hold down the back three in Glasgow. It's going to be a huge part, and there's Stuart Hogg, good high ball, good kick chase. It's not too blustery. So actually it's a decent day for being able to regather these kicks.
It was certainly blustery last week for Pyrgos at the sports ground. Coped with it very well in the end. Now, having said it's not too windy, ball's fallen over.
Let's go. 20 seconds.
Not his best.
Rory, are you sure there's not a wind there? Seems like a little bit of a breeze to me.
It's mostly a crosswind actually, Barnsley, down here. Normally the wind does come over the shoulders of Leinster at Scotstoun, but it's a kind of a crosswind playing from the stand, the main stand side across the pitch. That one there, I just don't think Henry got that one right.
He certainly got under it. So a missed opportunity for the Warriors.
Use it!
Johnny Gray. Pyrgos. Nice from Horn. Here goes Hogg. Didn't risk the pass. Ringrose was lurking. So to Kirshner. Gray again. He was looking for the offload. There goes Peter Horn once more. Pulls back the ball to Sam Johnson. A very intelligent game last week, working spaces against the champions. It's lost in the tackle. Chance for Leinster, no. They've knocked it on as well. First one from Glasgow. Leinster put it.
Just starting to get his rhythm there, Rob Horn. I really like the way he plays. He gets so flat onto the gain line, and then he's got this capacity to pull the pass back. Glasgow are very good at getting deep runners, which makes it very easy for a fly half to get into that flat sort of position.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Let's see who gets the squeeze on. Warriors were moving it, but not enough. And it's Leicester trying to move it from their own 22. Dave Carney involved, put it down. Luke McGrath, Mike McCarthy. Over his concussive issues. And a long-term layoff it was, and rightly so, if there's any thought of danger. Much better managed now, that kind of injury in the game. That was Tracy, try off the bench last week from the hooker. McGrath, Carberry, Carney. And it's gone on the outside, and that's almost on the inside to McGrath, but a chance for Hogg to bring it away, and encouraged by the crowd to counter-attack. Gives it to Favreau, the Italian. Going to the shorter side, Horn.
Advantage.
Carney.
Still advantage. Knock on.
McGrath again. There was a knock on. There's an advantage here for Leinster. Hogg has got a reasonable amount of time.
Very intelligent kick from Noel Reid. And it has to be said, Stuart Hogg does very well to get 25 metres or so from a tight angle there. We've seen some ambition with the ball in hand, but on a pitch like this, you know, you have to turn defenders. They can't be expecting it to be through the hands all the time, and Hogg, positionally superb there. It's a clever kick from Reid, and there will be kicks.
Man in the making, media career in the making at the end of his playing days, and the evidence of his player might last week. Here goes Carney.
Rock!
No South Africa tour for him, but another fit again now. It was Maloney, Ringrose. McCarthy.
Yeah, play on.
Nice little step by Reid and Kirshner. 41 South African cap to Zane Kirshner, brings in a whole load of experience, being promoted off the bench, wasn't named in the original 15, but it's like quad strain, nothing too serious for Fergus McFadden yesterday, but ruling him out of this. Didn't want to aggravate the problem. Here's Reid again. McGrath, McCarthy goes to ground but sets it back well. McGrath again, building nicely this for Leinster. Here's Tracy.
Two, stay there.
Captain in again to serve Carberry, who offloads well to Geordie Murphy. Chance though for Sato, who just nicks in there. Back goes Purgos.
Offside, 15
Danger
yellow.
not
15
over here
yellow,
for the
never
Warriors.
on.
It is now though, as offside is called by the assistant to referee John
John, up
Lacey.
level with me on the 5.
Poor end to a very promising Leinster attack there. Excellent patience, and this kid Carberry at fly half, he just waits till that ball comes. A nice little delay there, and Geordie Murphy through. Sato yet again is the man who just clears up the mess at the back. But there's a slight delay, Rory, on this guy Carberry. He looks very promising.
Yeah, he's playing very flat to the line, and actually, interestingly, having spoken to the Leinster guys before the game, they spoke as much about Glasgow's defence as they did Glasgow's attack. They emphasised the line speed. Glasgow looked to come up, but they've managed to find a couple of elbows so far, and a lot of that is coming through Carberry playing flat to the line.
Of course, it was Leinster's defence making the Pro12 headlines last season. And they're starting against Treviso this season. Might have been accused of same old, haven't got on to score the bonus point try, but early days, round 1, it was a win. Sort of take that. I'm sure Connacht would have taken one. Better line out. Favreau. Purgos. Horn. And again.
Play on.
Purgos. There is that aggressive Leinster defence. It's a very solid line, very visible line today with those shirts. Charged by Swinson on that far side. Miller played really well last week, had a storming game. There's Gordon Reid. Tackled by Josh van der Fleer. Ryan Wilson looking to offload and does.
Shadow, it's almost Nakarawa there, wasn't it, from Ryan Wilson?
And then Brown managed to break through. That just lifted the crowd. They're ready to go again, should their players manage to find some space, but it's at a premium out there at the moment. Alex Dunbar, that's the halfway line. Purgos. Johnny Gray, nice offload. Very sympathetic pass.
Yeah, and they've been short on offload so far. Much better from Gray there. Both sides will look to offload as a way to beat these defences.
Sato, well, he can be very aggressive with ball in hand. Big, strong winger. Purgos goes down the line. This is tight, but it's still in. Purgos has it again. Now it's really starting to open up, and Perfisi's coming on the charge. Well, they enjoyed that. Quick ball here, could be decisive. Hogg going wide again, and here's a chance for Seymour. Not sure he's touched it yet. Well, he has now. 2 tries last week, and Glasgow worked that very, very well indeed.
Supreme pass from Sam Johnson. Flat as you like, a brilliant ball. It enabled Tommy Seymour to just career onto that ball flat out. I thought the ball was a little bit slow from the breakdown, but the quality of the pass enabled Seymour to get outside. On the other flank, it was like last week, Sato doing the hard work, and then his mate on the other flank pinching the glory. Good carry from Puafisi. Here you think, is it a fraction slow? But the speed of this pass coming up now is an absolute beauty. Leaves Zane Kirshner in nowhere land. Wonderful. You won't see a better pass than that today, Rory.
No, it was a sensational pass by Sam Johnson, wasn't it? But as well, credit to Tommy Seymour. We saw it last week. His ability to hold his depth enough so he comes onto the ball like an absolute rocket is one of his big strengths. You see a lot of wingers getting too flat, overrunning the ball, but there he had depth. Sam Johnson put the ball out in front of him, and he hit that and went over. What a wonderful try.
And again, this is to take nothing away from Sam Johnson, but it was so Peter Horn-like, and to have the combination of the two at 10 and 12.
It is a dream for a back three player, and that's one of the reasons I think why we're seeing so much from Sato, Hogg and Seymour. They've got wonderful service inside.
And Dunbar will enjoy it as well. Here's Pyrgos. Oh, it might come back in. It had a go. Stays at 5 points, but it's a really good 5 points. The style of rugby from Glasgow can be very pleasing on the eye, and that was certainly another example of it.
Well, there you can see Glasgow's attack, so dangerous. Classic case, isn't it? Attack versus defence. Glasgow top try scorers in the league last season. The most parsimonious defence belongs to Leinster. First blood goes to the home team.
Advantage over.
That's lost to the restart.
Stay back.
Time when the Warriors would have liked to have kept control. There goes Levy. Former Ireland under-20 captain, McGrath.
No.
Caught by Dunbar, wants a little bit more, but that's excellent work from Leinster to hold on to that. It was going wrong.
No hands.
Tracy putting it back on the right track. And Carberry and McGrath. Ringrose.
Leave it.
McGrath's looking at the referee for a penalty. Not this time. McCarthy to Cian Healy. Back after his 5 months out. Levy again. Here's Noel Reid's got a lot to do from there. And Hogg's all over him. And the player was in contact with the ball there with a touch line involved as well. So that's good work from Stuart Hogg.
Just ran out of space. They're very good defence from Glasgow. We talk so much about their attack because it's so easy on the eye. But certainly they did have extra line speed at Connacht last week. And there's great patience there as well. Nobody was getting sucked in against the champion, against Connacht. Connacht found themselves getting drawn in and creating space for Seymour and Hogg. Glasgow didn't do that. And in the first 15, 16 minutes against Leinster, again, they hold their width defensively very well.
Time on. Numbers. 5.
The word between Gordon Reid and Fraser Brown. The liner has been cut a little bit.
Okay, no more. Keep that. Keep one stop.
Starting mauling away. Swinson having won the ball back on his feet.
Try to grow now. Use it now, 9.
Pyrgos, Seymour was in fact in front of him, but no worries really. The ball's gone out. Not too far at the touchline. I think Pyrgos wanted more than that.
There was great protection there from Pyrgos, from Rob Harley. You could see Leinster coming around the short side, and the big red-haired number 6 just smashed his man out the way, gave superb protection for the scrum half. Who, you're right, if he's going for touch, he would have liked it to go a little bit further.
Cries of not straight. Referee decides not that time. There's the man who threw it already across on that far side. Tracy and Dave Carney. Nice little roll around by
Tackle only.
McCarthy.
Advantage.
And there is the penalty.
Leave it go, 9. Let it go. Just 1 second. We'll have a word now. Yeah. You're going straight down first and then on the ball. Okay. Get away.
And going for the corner. What's your view on that?
Fergus McFadden would have been the kicker. Carberry's made a very promising start. He's a confident bloke, but you know, I think 9 times out of 10 a team will go for the corner. Okay, they're 5-0 down, but 20 minutes gone, long time to go. Put yourself in a scoring position. It's a good call.
Good catch by Geordie Murphy, and now Tracy has it at the base. Big shove comes on. And Leinster are claiming it.
Glasgow are pretty confident that they shunted Leinster into space, into touch.
Garrett, can you hear me?
Yes, got you.
We think he's lost control and he's in touch, but we want to check, please. So try yes or no here.
Oh, yes or no?
Yes, please.
But the feeling of the officials that there is no try. Control has been lost.
It never looked as if Tracy was going to get over the line there. Oh, he's close, but he must be in touch there.
A foot in touch by Blue there on first viewing for me.
I agree, let's see it again.
What a bowl of spaghetti that becomes.
Luke McGrath joins him from behind. It's all legit. He's in touch there, but we can't see where the ball is.
It's a tight one, John. Let's have another look from behind.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. It's touch first there.
It has to be
touch first, you're right.
Yeah, it is. No try, no. In touch first.
Great appeal for a try from Josh van der Fleer. I don't know how he could see it. He was punching in the air as he was falling to the floor.
Time on. Back to...
Glasgow did very well to repel that driving line out there. Chance gone for Leinster.
Let's go.
Again, it's cut, a little bit more drastic in terms of numbers this time, and it works. Goes to Gray, but then
off the yellow.
hand comes in, but it's been knocked on as Murphy is a metre or two short anyway.
Yeah, knock on.
Concerted pressure here from Leinster. First part's very well done. Johnny Gray, no problem there. Trying to drive the ball in field, and you can see the hands there of Mike McCarthy just knocking that ball forward. Very close.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Good work, Stuart. Let's go again.
Given the importance of this scrum,
this side, lads, one head and
greatly
shoulders
surprising that it collapsed.
I just hope this isn't one of these scrums that collapses with the ball at the number 8's feet and the referee says play on, as the trial laws suggest, because it gives Leinster no chance. I fear the law of unintended consequences. Let's see if Leinster get a push on, what happens. Big scrum.
Bind. Set.
Michael bent against Gordon Reid on this near side as we look. And Pyrgos to the safety of the stand, but still not a bad situation this for Leinster. They need some points to show for it though. Let's go down to Graham.
Miles, thank you. Yes, down here on the Leinster side of the pitch with John Fogarty, the scrum coach for Leinster. 5-0 down, John. You've been crisp in your handling. You've been audacious in going for corners. You deserve more than being 5-0 down?
I think that both times we went into the 22, we went into touch on our own, so we turned the ball over ourselves. So I'm not sure, do we deserve to be on the board just yet? Glasgow have done very well. They took us through phases here. They always have a threat with width, good skill set, and they went in the corner. So I think it's just about right. We need to keep the pressure on them and stick with it.
The kick to the corner there, John, which is interesting. I mean, was that something you talked about before the game and said, in that position, that's what we'll do? Oh, hang on, Miles, over to you.
Yes, Dave Carney has come off his wing like he does so well. And he's held up, trying to offload now. Just for a moment, it seemed he might be able to get away. It's, in fact, turned over. In goes Swinson. Fine work from Glasgow on the floor there.
Use it, 9.
Back with Graham in a second. Let's just see what happens here. Hogg has not put it out, so we'll continue with the live action. And there's Rob Kearney. Certainly Hogg's intention was to get that, and if row Z, at least C or D. McCarthy. McGrath.
Up you get.
Levy. Nice from Reed. McGrath on to Tracy, then it's Van der Fleer. There's been an injury at that breakdown to Favreau. He's trying to get up. Holding his arm awkwardly, but he will have to look on, because here comes Geordie Murphy. Lovely line, clattering through, and Hogg's taken one there. There goes Kearney, and Kearney has got it. And there are the points for Leinster. A debate from John Fogarty as to whether they deserve to be on the board. Well, they sort of did what Glasgow did, stretch the opposition out wide, and eventually it told in the shape of Rob Kearney. We're level at 5 each.
Contrast in skills there. We saw wonderful width on the pass of Sam Johnson, but that is a fantastic little offload from the fly half, Joey Carberry. Wait. That's the second time Geordie Murphy has picked that sort of line off him. Absolutely brilliant. Quick ball this time, and Rob Kearney busts from 15 metres for a fine finish. But the fly half does this beautifully, and Geordie Murphy just keeps picking this lovely little line off him. Great finish from the Lion, Kearney.
Strong finish, agile finish, as we've come to expect from that man over the years. Top player he has been. There's Carberry, thrust into the role with the injury to McFadden. And what a very good effort it was. He's very good at the role. And John Fogarty has got his points. Graham.
This man, Joey Carberry, can we just talk about him for 1 second? He asking some of this front row expertise, but he is special, isn't he?
He's very, very good. Yeah, he's done very well in the pre-season games, and against Treviso again, he's done well. But he's learning his way through the games. Hopefully, there's more to come from him through the season. He's doing great.
John, thank you very much indeed. Miles, back up to you.
Yep. Thanks, Graham. Nice to finish it off. And nice for Leinster too. Do exactly that in the corner. Finish it off. Glasgow. Try and reply with something similar. Here's Pyrgos, and there's Harley. Good attack, straight from the restart again. Nip and tuck this, there's Johnny Gray. Pyrgos, little step, needs help, comes from Wilson. Puffing the cheeks and giving everything as ever. Ryan Wilson. Healy has a go, but he can't slow them down. Swinson, Pyrgos, Fraser Brown, caught by Dave Kearney, Rob's younger brother. Missed out Swinson that time and given to Wilson, who brushed off that challenge, and there was Gray. Puafisi leaves it to the expert in those situations, the scrum half. It goes from Pyrgos to Harley, and Pyrgos again. Peter Horn looks to show his strength. Nearly gets there.
Use a 9!
Pyrgos told to use it and does.
Hands away now.
Can the Warriors get past this Leinster defence again for the second time in the match? Swinson has done exactly that. Terrific tempo, leading to a terrific try.
Enjoyed the way Henry Pyrgos just kept the pace of that attack going, and the fact that Glasgow attackers were coming from depth all the time. Didn't see Horn going for that big sweeping right to left pass. He attacked the gain line, and Glasgow just battered away until Leinster, an outstanding defensive they are, couldn't go any further. This time he thinks the numbers are not on our side, I'll keep the ball alive. Good support work there. And Swinson, number 4, under the post, and there's a lovely drive there. Harley involved, 2 men to take him over. Glasgow finally fracture a very good defence.
Favreau as well with a little shunt, importantly.
6 and 7, exactly what you want under the post. Great riposte there from Glasgow.
And Purgos, as he should, gets that. Glasgow up to 12, Leinster 7, Rory.
So much was made of the loss of Leonie Nakarawa in the summer, but the man that scored that try, Tim Swinson, last week was a wrecking ball all game long. He's a big carrier, he does the basics very well. He'll hit rucks all day, and that try there just showed Glasgow have a lot of options, whether it's out wide or in tight. Great score.
He's on that.
And immediately,
leave him.
The opposition back on the attack from the restart.
Number 1
and
arriving.
flows this game all right.
You would think that this has to go into the corner when from considerably closer. Joey Carberry kicked for the corner, they're going again. I'd like to talk to Finn Russell, who all week has been playing the role of Joey Carberry in Glasgow's training session. Finn, how is the real thing comparing with the man who played him in training?
Make sure he's down, It's fine.
Certainly has played well. The only thing that's gone wrong for him this week, he got left with no hair dye. They'd run out by the time
One stop
he was applying
sideways.
it.
Yeah, we touched on Joe Carberry. He is playing flat to the line, and with Glasgow's line speed, there are opportunities. We saw it with Jordy Murphy flying through, and he's playing really, really nicely again in this attack.
I think Dave Carney used a whole bucket of it, and here come Leinster once more. Josh van der Fleer, again, he was looking for the offload, even though he was being held and tackled. Always aware of what is on.
Turnover's good by 7.
And once more, in a tight spot, Glasgow managed to turn it over. It was Favreau, but then it nearly went wrong with the loose pass. Could have gone badly wrong. And won the turnover.
Ball's available. Stay back down. Use it, 9.
Purgos, encouraged by the referee, can't hang around. And Gray. Just setting up the angle for the scrum half
Use
here.
it.
To do exactly that.
It's going to frustrate Leinster a little bit there. Not for the first time they've had good possession in the Glasgow 22. And then a turnover, apologies, a turnover just when it matters. Favaro, really good play here. Not the first time it's happened. There you can see the number 7. It looks to me like he's actually put his hands on the ground and he's not supporting his weight. I think he's a little bit lucky to get away with that, but get away with it he does. You can see Glasgow. It was a theme against Connacht last week. Glasgow demolished them. If you can remember, I think the turnover count was 6-1, and it's 4-1 Glasgow's way at the moment. So it's an aspect of their game that is really good at the start of the season.
Tracy, growing in confidence, goes to the tail. Dunleavy, another to shave his head. It's shave or die for Kurt McQuilkin. That was the plan, just to show support for the ex-now Leinster defence coach, who's gone back to the Southern Hemisphere. And we wish him and his family all the best at this difficult time.
Okay, it's just accidental. It's accidental, not giving a penalty.
So the referee happy there was no intent there.
Gordon Reid down at the moment.
It wasn't an obstruction because no tackler, so it's only a scrum. All right, not a penalty. Okay. Didn't see it, right?
Last year, we went through a phase where every accidental offside was being awarded as a penalty, and it's great to see referee sanity returning. It doesn't have an influence on the game. There you can see ambling around aimlessly like a good forward will do now and again. I think he's absolutely right there, John Lacey.
Boys, just keep an eye out just for off the balls, okay? I've spoken to the ARs. Time on.
Assistant referee today, Dan Jones and Dunce McClement. Television match official. I heard his voice earlier, Gareth Simmons.
So far so good from the Glasgow scrum, a lot better than it was in the first half against Connacht last week. A couple of key scrums and they have looked really solid so far against a pretty useful Leinster front five.
Glasgow set up here, Stuart Hogg out on the right-hand side with his big right boot. They'll be very keen to get out of this area, but it looks like they're going through the hands instead.
As Hogg went through the pass, didn't find Sato.
Forward, gone forward advantage.
Throws it back inside, but this might
advantage over.
Work against his side, might be caught unawares. No fullback, of course, at home. Hogg is trying to get there. He is there in position now. Ringrose. Strong tackle from Dunbar. Levy Maloney. Levy pushes it back to his captain. Healy was the decoy runner that time, and Van der Fleer comes through. That's his young player of the season last season. It's fallen nicely for Maloney. And then Murphy. Referee might want to have another look at that if it goes to a try, as long as we stay within the two phases, but it was advantage to Leinster. John Lacey was right in position there. And so are Leinster here, just metres from that Warriors line. Healy.
He's getting into the game, Cian Healy.
Tackle from Reid needed to be made.
Advantage.
Referee sees the Warriors coming through offside there. That's a penalty advantage to Leinster. Ross Maloney, out of the academy now, fully fledged as a professional with
he's on that.
Leinster, and
14.
John Lacey feels that given the position on the pitch, so close to the line.
Offside ball's not out, interfering with quick ball, 5 to go.
Leonardo Sato is into the sin bin, not just a penalty, yellow card as well.
Well, I'm all for that. I think referees so often give 1, 2, 3 too many final warnings. Teams know what they're doing there. Glasgow know what they're doing. Leonardo Sato does.
Make sure he's down.
And we want to eliminate this cynicism, and the best way to do it is to be pretty radical in your refereeing and go to the yellow card quickly, and that's exactly what John Lacey has done.
Johnny Gray contests that. Purgos boots it. And that's a nice little result for Glasgow.
Well played, Johnny Gray. Big decision there, because Leinster under Tracy almost drove them over the line, and Gray decided he was going to get up in the air. They risked being driven, but the Scotland second row got it right, and it was a key turnover.
It was certainly a key turnover. I think Leinster have had a lot of concerted pressure down in Glasgow's half, but they'll be very, very keen to come away with some points in this one.
Palmed down by Mike McCarthy. Cries of a knock on there. Luke McGrath's got it. Referee again was well placed.
Time to move!
It's Tracy.
Off feet, 7.
Ricard Strauss still about 4 weeks away. Oh, there's Josh van der Fleer, who is away.
No.
The Leinster back row man makes it 2 tries apiece as we approach half-time. Leinster certainly backing themselves today, not just as a defensive unit, but in an attacking sense as well. Maybe the loss of kicker McFadden has helped in that.
Well, they're a different team to the team that played Treviso last week. Weak defence from Glasgow around the fringe, but Josh van der Fleer is a very strong operator. Sees the hole, got good acceleration there, 1 missed tackle. He's through, and Leinster are in front. And you could say Glasgow might have been more accurate in their finishing, but Leinster have had the territory, they've had the possession, and they've certainly had an awful lot of possession in which to build a lead, and they deserve it.
Really clever stuff from Josh van der Fleer there. He actually saw that Glasgow put all their men out, looked to build a strong line and get off the line, but they forgot about the ruck. They didn't have anyone in that ruck. Josh van der Fleer noticed it, picked up and was under the sticks. Really strong score from Leinster.
Carberry 2 from 2. McFadden, by the way, was 2 from 4 last week. So making a good fist of it, the Auckland-born fly half for Leinster. Mind you, I think I might have got that one.
With a name like Carberry, it's hard to believe he's born in Auckland, isn't it?
Just see the rubber crumb there, just disturbed in this new artificial surface, which really is state-of-the-art. I was up here the week before last at Glasgow, were telling me that they've taken all the best bits from the pitch at Saracens and Newcastle and Oyonnax and come up with this. It's the very latest technology. Of course, it will advance with every passing year, every passing season.
No.
Walking on it before kickoff, it really does feel like you're walking on a lawn.
Use it!
That time, there is an obstruction.
Run across the line, run on.
Bad period of the game here for Glasgow as we approach half-time. They lost Sato. They've lost the lead, and from a pretty good attacking position, they've conceded a penalty, and Carberry just elegantly strokes it back down to where this ball has been for quite a period in the last 10-15 minutes in the Glasgow final third. Good first half, 4 tries, some wonderful precision, glorious pass from Sam Johnson, and some lovely touches from Carberry that have just given Leinster the lead as we approach the final seconds of this half.
And they'll have a little bit of yellow card time to use at the start of the second half.
One stop!
Unless we have a particularly long attack here.
Stay bound, Rock. Use it!
Still want to attack, and why not? And that's Crutchfield looking for Kirshner, and he's onto this, and why not indeed? What a way to finish the half. Leinster make it 3 tries to 2. They are in the driving seat. They will still have that sin bin time, and they are putting themselves in a great position here for a notable away victory. Still a lot of work to do, but what a good first half, and Carberry right on the money again.
That is magnificent. And we thought the little offload to Murphy for the Rob Kearney try was good. That was spectacular. Hits it low, in complete control of that kick. Tommy Seymour has been sucked infield. Maybe that's because they're a man down, but Seymour, I think, is 10 metres too far infield. The kick gets over him, and Kirshner keeps depth, and that is a fantastic score. What a way for Leinster to finish this half.
Defensive systems, very, very difficult when you're a man down. And obviously on that occasion there, Sarto in the bin, great cross-field kick and a try well capitalised upon by Leinster.
Can Carberry get the conversion? It's going through the middle. Oh, just forced short. Direction was superb. Everything he's doing is turning to goal here, Carberry, apart from that last kick, or maybe his hair. He needs a bit more touching of the top as opposed to the back. But hey, look, Carberry at 20 years of age, what a first half he's had on the back of his man of the match performance and 2 tries last week. And for Glasgow here at half-time, plenty of thinking to do. The views of Luke Fitzgerald and Finn Russell to come after the break. And here are the views of Dave Kearney.
Down here with his Olympic. So that looks heavy. It's heavy, is it? Blimey. That is heavy, isn't it? It really is. Blimey. Do you wear it around the dressing room to annoy the other players, or what do you do?
It's certainly not worth that. The stick that we get for doing that is just not worth it. So no, it's been stayed at home.
When did it actually sink in that you'd won an Olympic silver medal, Mark?
I think for me, just when I got home, saw my family, saw the buzz back here about the medal, was when it did really sink in. It was incredible.
A dodgy first half for Glasgow. How far up the gum tree are you here, Mark? Leinster last season never lost when they were up at half-time.
It's been a strange first half. We've done a lot of good stuff. We've scored 2 absolutely cracking tries, but we've also conceded 3 tries, which for us is not great. We pride ourselves in our defence, so it's been a tough one from that point of view. Leinster have played some great rugby, running some great angles, so we really need to shut them down there and just keep a hold of the ball, because when we do, we look real dangerous.
Not chase the game, presumably.
Exactly. I think if we chase the game, it will really put us up there. So we need to just stay relaxed, get into it in our own time.
You haven't seen John Lacey, the referee, anywhere, have you?
Oh, I think they're coming now.
He's coming now. There we go. That was me thinking the game was almost over and he'd gone home.
Better late than never.
Congratulations again on the medal. Very well done, Mark. Thanks for your time.
Cheers.
So here we go for the second half, and John Lacey and his officials out on the pitch as well as the players to get us underway. Leinster only won once at this ground, 2012, and it was 6-0. It's anything but a 6-0. It's full of tries, 3 tries to 2. Leinster in front on that score and on the overall scoreboard as well. But they'll be taking nothing for granted, not against this Glasgow side that put 41 points on Connacht last week.
And the vast majority in a spectacular second half display.
And to be fair, Connacht looked like a side who'd only had the one at pre-season match. Really kicked in the second half. As Glasgow kicked on. There's Sam Johnson. And there's the first penalty of the second period, holding on.
6 arriving on his feet. Ball down, please.
Levy was arriving and was trying to play it legally. Wilson had a chance. Carberry's kick just eluded him.
As a fly half, you know things are going your way when you get away with that. Just thinking he's undercooked that one. That's his first real error of the game, and he's got away with it. Got a good attacking position now. Again, Leinster starting this half where they finished the first one.
McGrath, young for a captain, but he's always had those leadership qualities. 23 years of age.
Ball is loose.
He's in the favour at the moment. As co-captain of Glasgow these days, Johnny Gray, sharing the duties with Henry Pyrgos. It's set to be a very busy international season for Gray. Maybe something very big at the end of it in a Lions jersey.
Well, it's a very competitive position, isn't it? But he's right in contention.
Use it, 9.
Outstanding player.
There's no counting of chickens at lock, even for somebody as good as Gray. Another blast from John Lacey. Again, it doesn't come back quickly enough for the liking of the referee.
7. Just go. Thank you.
Glasgow still with 14 men. Sato off. And this time, Leinster will go for the sticks.
Really being hurt, aren't they, in the period of one man down, Glasgow.
Talk is on, no boys, all right?
Kicking tea was finishing its cup of tea in the dressing room.
As I think the referee was.
So this, Joey Carberry, I was listening to the boys with Alex at half-time talking about the fact that, you know, he's got lots of time, and Finn was saying he doesn't overplay, and I think in comparison perhaps with Ian Madigan's a very talented player, but you always felt every time he got the ball he was trying to do something, and from your 10 you want control first and then that ability to go through the gears and change your game, and that's what this lad's giving them.
Good go at this kicking roll as well, just the one miss before half-time. That was out wide, a successful conversion out wide, and that one slotted through very nicely, thank you very much. Joey Carberry continues this excellent start to the season, man of the match last week. And those 2 tries, one of them breakaway score which showed his pace. Well, he's showing an awful lot more than that today. And Leo Cullen and new man Stuart Lancaster will be very pleased with what they're seeing.
Cracking start to the second half of Leinster because they've got a couple of penalties from breakdown. They really are confident in the minutiae, and when they get an opportunity, they're taking their points. Good carry as well
by Cian Healy, but Ross Maloney had to rescue the situation.
Over.
His 3rd carry by Healy. He's had a promising start to the season as well.
Such a broad back, hasn't he, Cian Healy? You can just see that in his scrum, but in the loose as well. He's really got the ball away, but it was that man who created the opportunity to do that with the hard yards.
Miles, and we're talking about the Lions. I'm sure that Warren Gatland would love nothing more than to see Cian Healy back to his full fitness and very best, because he's a contender. To beat New Zealand, you need forwards who can cross the gain line, who can dominate, and he's one of the few in this hemisphere who really can carry world class.
There's always a great sadness in the Lions to a player who misses out, and I think in 2013 it was Healy in Australia. Went early on to injury. Could have offered so much.
Move, Tyler!
Alex Corbisiero certainly took his chance. That's the nature of Lions tours. Sam Johnson making ground again. Does work very well in tight spaces. Just like Horn.
Stay up, skipper,
Great
stay up!
press defence from Leinster again, really aggressive.
It's Gordon Reid, showing great strength himself, but also his colleagues to take him on. There's Harley. Stuart mentioned earlier, the ever-willing Harley puts his body on the line constantly. Brown. Hogg. Harley's missed that. Will it fall into Glasgow hands? Hogg's got back quickly with that lightning scamper of his.
But again, you see, Miles, Reid and Ringrose in the wide channels. They're coming up so hard. They're cutting off Glasgow in the wide channels. Again, just forcing them in field. Really super press defence from Leinster.
Rory, got some news from the dressing rooms at half-time.
Yeah, Glasgow obviously very disappointed at half-time to have conceded the 3 tries. The messages at half-time from their point of view was look after the ball, and they've been putting Leinster under pressure. You see, they have just been a bit scrappy, and that's another prime example. But they believe look after the ball, play rugby in the right areas, and they will put Leinster under pressure and get themselves back into this game. From Leinster's point of view, it's much more of the same. They want to try and get that territory. They want to capitalise more when the opportunities arise, and obviously they'll be delighted to have those 3 points at half-time added to the 7. It was a 10-0 sin binning for Glasgow, which they'll be incredibly disappointed by, but it's still very much game on.
Tyke Furlong has come on for Michael Bent, who certainly didn't go for the shave option. He went for a little bit of dye.
Use it!
Pyrgos and Horn. Tackle from Reid, but Horn wasn't held. He's entitled to go on, and did.
Again, the wide press from Leinster is just forcing the Glasgow passing to break down a bit. A very accurate passing team, but in the last 2 minutes or two, you've seen Glasgow not quite able to handle the pressure. You think they've got a chance numerically here, but again, it's possible, but it's asking a question. And at the moment, Glasgow aren't coming up with the answers that they did against a more passive Connacht defence.
Glasgow also about to make a change at tight head. Xander Fagerson due to come on for Sila Puafisi. McGrath, Puafisi going in, and that might just have put McGrath off. Wasn't the best service from the scrum half, and the knock-on effect was the knock-on.
Yes, okay.
Here comes Fagerson.
It's really fascinating, you know, when Glasgow scored that early try, we said attack was on top over defence, but at the moment, Leinster's defence is starting to just grind down Glasgow a little bit. Little error there, it's a poor pass to Carberry, and you can see last season Leinster conceded the fewest points against the team who scored the most. And right now, the pendulum is just swinging the way of the Irish province.
No, it's good, it's good.
Attendance, by the way, over 7,000 now. There's a little stand addition here as well, just to
guys,
increase
okay
that
to
capacity this season, 7,251. And they will be worried, the majority of them at the moment, those who haven't made the trip over from Dublin. Warriors supporters. Rafisi goes off to applause, but this is a potentially troublesome situation for Glasgow. Half an hour to sort it.
Yeah.
Certainly don't want to be conceding the next score.
First of all, don't shout at me like that. I'm going to have a word, just slipped. Was unbalanced first, but you're right.
Absolutely right, Miles. But half an hour to go, 10-point deficit. Glasgow with their firepower. You know, they could turn that around in no time at all, but gets up to 12-25, 12-28. It gets a little bit nervy.
Have to go back to 2007 since Leinster won their first 2 games of the season. Wouldn't have thought that.
You wouldn't.
Bind! Set!
Leinster fans will say, shut up, we haven't done it yet.
Another very good scrum. Glasgow's scrum has been really good today.
Burgos, Hogg. Is that in the path of Sato? Not quite. It was always stretching.
Same again, Miles, same again. Leinster are giving them opportunities. It's almost saying if you're good enough, go for it. And at the moment, they're not quite good enough. And you could see big press of numbers there from Leinster, and you can see always driving Glasgow backwards. Just watch the line speed coming up. Hard and fast, nothing on the outside. Then we end up with turnovers coming there. It's a complete job. Stuart Lancaster, signed to sort the defence out, has done a really good job. Continuing on from Kurt McQuilkin, there are more than a few shades of Andy Farrell when England were there. Well, in their better pre-World Cup days, shall we say. Up and at 'em, very aggressive defence.
I'm sure Stuart would say, alongside Leo Cullen too, who's been here obviously a long, long time, but he would say that Kurt McQuilkin has done a superb job. There's a lot to work with.
Just gone around, same scrum.
Now, under the trial laws, it's gone around, turned 90 degrees, so it's the same scrum. Last year, that would, of course, have been a Glasgow put-in now.
Stay down.
Trying to discourage teams from wheeling. I do sense at the moment, though, you know, this Glasgow 8, if they have one area in this game at the moment where they've got a bit of an edge, it's the scrum.
Bind! Set!
Reset.
Came down this side, didn't it? Healy versus his new foe, Ferguson. Talk about quality in one position, Cian Healy and Jack McGrath. So there's a lot to work with, there certainly is at Leinster.
Crouch! Bind! Set! 1, 2, 3, squeeze!
Pretty solid. Reid to Carberry, he's given it away, he's made a mistake. Puts his hands to his head as Seymour puts the ball to the ground for another brace for him. Just what Glasgow wanted.
Well, Tommy Seymour won't get an easier finish than that all season. You have to credit him for reading it. He waited on that left wing, he picked it up really easily. And young Joey Carberry, now it'll be a little test of him because he's played so beautifully, but he's not that experienced and he is going to hurt from that. Very easy there for Tommy Seymour. Glasgow didn't seem to be going anywhere in attack, and suddenly the key pass that makes it happen comes from a Leinster man. Rory.
It's been a theme of the day, hasn't it? The wingers jamming in to be able to kill off attacks, and that one there, there are a few better in the game than Tommy Seymour. We've seen what he can do with ball in hand when he's getting the ball from his backs, but he's also one of the best in the game at picking it off. The Glasgow defensive system is very much set that way, and Tommy Seymour fits into it very well. Barnesy touched on it there. It is a test now for Joey Carberry. He has had a wonderful 50-odd minutes. That pass there intercepted Glasgow back in the game, but it was one that Glasgow definitely needed.
Hadn't got to the point where they were wondering where the next score was coming from, far from it, but it's very nice to get a gift like that.
Might just have been the first intimation of a twitch. You know, just thinking them they're starting to smash us backwards, we're losing breakdowns. It helps when you get a gift wrap like that.
Crowd was twitchy too at that point.
Yeah.
It's released a pressure valve in the stands.
And you notice lads are putting pressure on the breakdown. That kick off straight to Horn, no messing around, no double drive and then clear it, just belt it into the other half, get away.
Oh, that was a clatter. Everybody's okay.
Knock on yellow,
Or
knock on
maybe
yellow.
Advantage.
There's a warrior down.
Advantage over.
But Seymour's off again. Oh! Seymour! Under the post! What a spell for Seymour and Glasgow. It's a hat-trick this week.
Well, this time Glasgow have got 14 men while Favaro is down, but they are benefiting. A double burst of Seymour magic. Huge hit initially. Lost ball there, and he just spins out of it. Mike McCarthy goes too high for the tackle, and then there's a pack of Leinster men chasing him, but he's too quick. McCarthy has to make that tackle, that's the poor one. And then McGrath is quick, Rob Kearney can't get to him. Nobody can. Seymour, the hat-trick hero.
5 in 2 weeks and time to add. That's an eye-catching start
Great advantage,
to
great
a
advantage.
Lions season for Tommy Seymour. He's proved himself internationally to be an arch finisher.
Turnover ball once again, and it all came from a Leinster line out off the top ball. Favaro off the back of that line out launched himself into the tackle. He's still nursing a shoulder. He's pointing across to the medics on the touchline here to say his shoulder's still giving him a bit of trouble. It all came from that big hit and capitalised upon once again by Tommy Seymour.
Glasgow have the bonus point amidst all of that.
Play on.
Good play from Geordie Murphy to hook that one back. Excellent restart.
And there he is again, actually a scrum half, because McGrath was caught in the breakdown. Carberry caught as well now. McGrath back in position under Fleer. The characteristics of this game is how well the opposition have responded when the other side have scored. And it's happening again. Here's Kearney.
Nice little break from Ringrose there.
And Lens to get the penalty as a result of that attack. Ringrose, and then Kearney in support.
Into the corner again. It's the way Leinster are playing this game. They're back in their catch and drive line out. All comes from a very good restart. Young Carberry hangs this ball up. The chase is excellent. That's a great hook back there with the left hand. Murphy's had a good game at 8, you know, chasing balls, carrying. He's been influential at breakdowns. It's an excellent game.
It was a big bear honeypot scoop, wasn't it, from Geordie Murphy.
One stop.
Do bears actually like honey? Or is that something that was just...
Pooh did.
Yeah, well, we were young, weren't we? Believe anything.
Still do.
Good scrap. Might have gone Glasgow's way. It has. Crowd like that. Almost as big a cheer as there was when Seymour went under the post with a hat-trick. It's that type of day. Well, let's hear from the Glasgow camp. Mike Blair, now on the coaching staff, is with Graham Simmons. Graham.
Okay. Mike, that's a heck of a 5 minutes. You feeling a bit better now?
Yeah, there's been a bit of a shift in momentum. 2 brilliant bits of work from Tommy Seymour, and we're right back in the game.
What is it that you weren't doing before then, and what will you need to do from now in if you're going to seal this?
In attack, we were just struggling to actually get the ball. When we had the ball, I think we looked pretty good. We needed a bit more intensity at the breakdown to speed the ball up. And in defence, we're just a wee bit passive, letting their short runners come through. So we've fixed it to an extent, but you know, Tommy's 2 bits of magic, they weren't really coachable things.
Fair play in terms of Leinster and their defence. They're forcing you to try and throw balls that you don't really want to throw, aren't they?
Yeah, and they've defended really well. They've come out hard on the outside. We're maybe playing to the width a little bit too early, but as I say, we're back in front now, and hopefully we'll get some enthusiasm and confidence on the back of that.
It's a very early stage of the season, obviously, Mike, but how important that you hold on here and get this?
I mean, every game's important to win, isn't it? Especially at home, especially playing in our new pitch. We want to set down a marker, so winning today will be a great start.
Right, thanks a lot. Multiple
changes from Leinster. Brian Burns come on at hooker. Pete Dooley is on. Nick Carney is on. Just leave it there for a moment. Rory O'Loughlin's on as well in the back line. As Hogg clears. Kirshner's gone back to fullback. There's Ringrose. Noel Reid. Just confirming for you who's gone off. McGrath. Carberry to Dave Carney. There's no soft shoulders in this match, is there?
Counter is good.
Seymour thought he'd done his work there, but Leinster went through. Glasgow had to do it all over again.
They did very well to get that ball back.
Did they just? Johnny Gray, another important carry.
Use it, 9. Let go of his leg, 6.
Dave Carney again. O'Loughlin nearly got a try against Treviso in the corner. Certainly did score against Gloucester, the 22-year-old out of the academy. He's on 20-year-old Carberry.
Leinster are playing with a man more at the moment because Dunbar's being looked at on the far side.
There goes Levy. He's looked powerful all afternoon, as Dan Levy. Advantage coming to Leinster. They want a little bit more. Trailing by 4 now. And De Fleer. McGrath. That's Byrne.
Advantage 6, taking
last week was his first start since October. And that's Tyke Furlong. And that's the Glasgow try line. And here's McGrath. It's coming wide to Carney. Has to stop and check. Hogg had him, but they'll have to get him through the middle now, Glasgow, and they do. Dunbar, who's been injured, coming up with a tackle there. Lost in midfield, but it was advantage for the penalty offence.
Favaro was very quick onto the floor there. He has been aggressive all game. The second half, he's picking up his game there, but Leinster looking very dangerous. Levy's been impressive and powerful. Good little offload as well to Furlong. Driving again. Again, that's the width that Glasgow maintain in their defence. Hogg staying wide. Carney didn't have the pace to go outside.
Come on, shot.
Yeah, Levy has been carrying well and powerfully.
Yeah, Gary Ringrose as well, especially as this game has developed, has got better, and I like his defensive play as well. He's shut off that 15-metre channel really well and Just below him, Johnny Gray. He's one of those blokes, Gray. He's always up there. His work rate is fantastic. A lot of graft, I think, is going to be needed to see this game out from whichever team wins it. It's a tight one now. It's a tough one.
Flag's looking quite limp there, but we still have the ball being held on the tee. Well, it's not broke and all that. Carberry will keep using that man on the floor to very good effect.
We've spoken a lot about this pitch, and you can see both sides, standard 60 minutes, a lot of changes now going on. The legs will be burning that little bit more, although the surface is obviously magnificent to play on. It's firm, you know what your footing is going to be there, but it is obviously fast. Today has been a fast-paced, physical game, and it is at this stage that the quick guys and the guys who are nimble on their feet will be looking for opportunities to capitalise. Leinster, Carberry playing flat to the line, Glasgow's back three in particular looking dangerous.
That's Rory. Sam Johnson. Pyrgos. Gordon Reid has a go. There's Johnny Gray again. First in with a pickup, first in with a handoff. Move! And that's 11 carries now in the match from him. Fraser Brown. Somehow this attack needs to explode. Is Hogg the man? Might well be. Seymour, look for Hogg on the inside. Those two combined so well. Was that Dunbar nearly over the line? He was over the line, but over another one as well, the sideline.
That shift of gear that Stuart Hogg brings to the game is quite something. You just felt a 2-on-2, nothing is on. Just watch the way Hogg, just there it goes, really dangerous. Ball is knocked backwards, and Dunbar goes pretty close. Fantastic pace there from Hogg, great change of pace.
Yeah, it is. It's that change of pace, Barnsley, that makes him such a dangerous player. He will be loving the underfoot conditions, but I have to say, Leinster have done very well to keep him quiet so far in the game. Right from the off, every time he gets the ball, you can see their defenders coming to life. They understand the threat that he and Sarto and Seymour have, so they do light up when they get on the ball, and they've managed to keep certainly Hogg quiet, although Seymour's obviously capitalising on a couple of opportunities.
I think, Rory, another point there, the press defence from wide, which Lancaster has worked really well this week, has been highly effective because it has cut Glasgow off, and there's been a number of key passes that just haven't gone to hand.
Yeah, very.
Kick long by Carberry. And Wilson, hit by Van der Fleer. Try score himself today. Pyrgos, Horn. We can use both feet, but not effectively that time. We're watching on in the studio is Luke Fitzgerald. What's your point, Luke?
Yeah, well, there's just a couple of areas that I think that the Leinster boys need to tighten up. I mean, it was pretty obvious with the interception that's just obviously an error, but I do think they need to exit a little bit better. I thought they backed that up with a bad restart as well, which is an area where they could have been a bit better as well in the first half. So those two areas, I think, if they tidy those things up, they look dangerous in attack. If they can get to possession in Glasgow's half, I think they'll get good rewards there.
Let's see what happens. Brian Burns' throw is snatched away by the Warriors. Fraser Brown finding himself in midfield, so too Ryan Wilson. Seymour after a bit of treatment, okay.
Move forward.
Horn. Great thumping into Pete Dooley.
Let go.
Sato. That's why he came to this league, for moments and matches like this. Right on a knife edge, this one now. Glasgow desperate to win their first match at home this season, the first match on their new surface, to lay down a marker and say the rest, we like using it. Quite the same psychological effect on the opposition if Leinster leave with a victory here today. They get a penalty because they had the booming boot of Stuart Hogg.
That's not through the middle and you've lifted a leg, okay? Back you go, just a penalty for me.
The unassuming Tim Swinson yet again. He's a cracking player. Just always around at breakdowns. Johnny Gray gets all the glory. Last year Nakarawa, but he worked very hard. And with Nakarawa gone, he's got a little bit of limelight now and he deserves it. He's even scoring tries, Rory.
He is. He's been incredibly impressive. As I touched on earlier, obviously a lot was made of Leone Nakarawa leaving this club, but Swinson's always been there, and alongside Johnny Gray, they are a true definition of the engine room. They both work so hard. It's a lot of unseen work as well, but he's had a couple of moments in the limelight in the last couple of weeks. Just on Stuart Hogg here, he was kicking them from 55, 60 metres earlier on in the warm-up. I have to say, not many of them went through, so we'll see what happens with this one.
Yes, they've gone for the boot of Hogg. It makes a very loud sound, but it's not the sight that the home fans wanted. Yes, not quite.
Yep.
He wants to be with his rhythm on the kicking at the moment, but he is a very useful man to have in a side for those long-range kicks. He does get a few, more than a few. So Corey Flynn's going to come on, Alex Allen's going to come on. Haven't seen him since February in Warriors colours in this league. Lee Jones is on, and Lewis Wynn on as well.
I think Favara's tackled and bashed himself into the ground.
He's one of those players where, I mean this in the nicest possible way, he's got a screw loose, hasn't he? Just puts himself into areas which are so brave.
I don't see the niceness in that, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I think
well,
that's an admirable quality.
In a 7.
Rockford!
Carberry saw the space. Didn't last long. And we've got Jamison Gibson Park on at scrum half as well. Man who's come from New Zealand, Auckland Blues, and then the Hurricanes. Placement in the Super Rugby final against the Lions recently. That's gone forward. There he is, number 21, Jamison Gibson Park. Rory Loughlin. Oh, that was a long blast.
Right is there.
The referee meant that. He was absolutely adamant, just by the sound on the whistle.
It's a real shift and swing, hasn't there, in the breakdown today. In the first half, Glasgow in the first half hour in particular were turning Leinster over and going well, and then this middle period of the game, Leinster have got men in there, they've been really aggressive, and they've dominated. They've got the penalties. We haven't seen the Glasgow offloading game at all, but now the last 5 or 10 minutes, Glasgow are just a little bit of extra urgency at that breakdown.
Just the one, yeah? Okay.
Dominic Ryan is charging onto the field to replace Dan Levy in the Leinster back row.
6.
Corey Flynn prepares to take his first line out in this match, the former All Black. 3 tries and 15 caps for the men. International rugby from New Zealand. Nice take by Gray.
Nice combination if you want to close a game out, isn't it? Gray with Flynn throwing. Now, can Glasgow transfer this ball to the back and get the drive on again? Leinster look to have done a pretty good initial job.
Use it now! No, use it!
Well, Purgot's been told to use it. And it's pulled down, I think. Referee holding out an arm. Was it in at the side, the call? Either way, Glasgow have a penalty advantage, and Stuart Hogg puts the foot down. What they love to see him do here. Lee Jones, another member of that Great Britain 7 squad, got to silver in Rio, is on the field. And he's going for the corner. And listen to the crowd now. Final 10 minutes. These are the moments that will decide the points. And who's going to enjoy their Saturday evening? Which set of fans? Pyrgos darting. It's interesting, both co-captains have stayed on the field. Referee, long advantage, but it was a penalty. Just wonder whether Glasgow will be tempted here to try and put a bit of daylight.
I think two co-captains, and there's only one decision, that's to take 3 points, because that forces Leinster to score a try to beat you. You know, there's decision-making isn't just about where you are on the field, it's where you are on the clock. And I think when you're 1 point up, and you've got against a team like Leinster, if you can just establish daylight, get yourself away from a penalty or a drop goal, that forces their game to be more ambitious, and with only 8 minutes on the clock, I think it puts Glasgow in a situation really they need to score here.
Let's go. Score, boys. Time.
Young Lewis Wynne, who's on the field.
Guys, let's go, please.
Back rower, 19 years of age, and Henry Pyrgos, his co-captain with Johnny Gray, have made that call to go for more than just the 3 points.
It's one of those things, isn't it? If Pyrgos, Gray Axis get it right, it's great captaincy. If they get it wrong, maybe too many cooks spoil the decision making.
Pyrgos, and then it is Seymour! It was the right decision, and it's certainly the right call these days to give it to that man, Tommy Seymour.
Well, the scrum has been solid all day, and we said if you're not going to go for 3 points, then you better make sure you get 5. They got 7. Tommy Seymour, a burst of lightning. Superb late delayed pass from Pyrgos. Seymour, he waits. Wonderful pace. The strength to go straight through it. He has been the dominant force today. He was brilliant in Galway last week. He's gone beyond that this week in Glasgow.
On moments like that, the league could end in 20 more rounds time being dictated, and Glasgow, big call from Johnny Gray and Henry Pyrgos to go for the scrum. Wonderful scrum set up by Glasgow. Pyrgos did so well, took it right to the line, shoulder ball, and Tommy Seymour is unstoppable right now.
And Pyrgos then has the simplest of conversions to make it more than a 7-point gap. And Seymour, as you say, really unstoppable. 4 tries to go with his 2 from last week.
Miles, you're a man who knows a few stats. When's the last time any individual has scored 4 tries against Leinster?
Blimey, I need a computer program for that one. I've been rather worried had I known the answer.
Play on. No, play on. Look forward, Captain.
But no doubt there are people working on it as we speak. Carberry, then to Fleer. No man who once scored 4 tries, you didn't give him man of the match.
Not just about try scoring, Miles. It's, you know, you've got to earn them. You don't know that Seymour's getting man of the match today yet.
Here's Kirschen up. Paul Diggin, Northampton Saints.
Oh yeah, I'd given it though before he got his 4th. Admit it.
Gibson Park. Pete Dooley. Just haven't been able to come up with the points in the second half. Leinster had that 19-12 lead at the interval. It's the 2 kicks off the kicking tee. And the penalties and that count increasingly going against them.
You said that a couple of minutes before that try, Glasgow have just started to win the breakdown that they were losing earlier. They do seem to have found themselves just an extra gear and a real determination.
Glasgow 4. Hold on. Yeah, you can make.
Well, the start of the first half, Joey Carberry is leaving at the end of the game. Certainly, regardless of the way the game has turned and what has happened in the second half, this man has an excellent future, a real, a genuine option alongside Johnny Sexton when he returns. That has to be good news for Leinster. Another young talent has come on, Cathal Marsh, to replace him. Tim Swinson off as well. Chewy Uanivi, the Namibian international, comes on for Swinson, when he used to play Super Rugby with the Sharks, and also with the Brive club in France.
Long way to go until we reach the denouement of the season, but of course that converted score means that Leinster don't even have a point at the moment. Glasgow have 5. This does not feel like a 5-0 match at the moment, but Glasgow are going to need a try just for 2 bonus points, getting within 7 and 4 tries. At the moment they've got nothing. Fine line rugby, isn't it?
Yeah, Leinster needing that extra try. And those points to add to their total to walk away with something. But they'll need the ball first, and Glasgow have control of the game and control of the pill here.
Push back.
Harley.
Use it!
And aware very much of the situation here and denying a rival something. Glasgow not looking to do anything too flash at the finish. They've done their hard work now.
Use it!
With every second it just closes that door a little bit more. I think it's probably shut now.
Part of the rock. He's part of the rock.
Ferguson's drive. Uanivi. Peter Horn.
No.
Sam Johnson done, but he won't mind that.
Let him go!
Jordy Murphy tries to free himself and shows a little bit of frustration there. Really don't deserve to leave empty-handed, Leinster. There's Stuart Hogg, says play your way out of that. So, your Guinness man of the match is...
Tommy Seymour is my Guinness man of the match. Once bitten with Paul Diggin, twice shy. He was brilliant last week. He took a great performance from Stuart Hogg to deprive him in Galway, but there's been no one with his influence today. Leinster, the most parsimonious defence in the Pro12, have been shredded by this man. 4 tries out of Glasgow's 5, a real match-winning performance there. Brilliant.
Jamison Gibson Park as Leinster look for something here. As I say, something could really strongly argue they deserve. Ringrose goes again. It's all about the bonus point now. The bonus points. They get the try. It's
big incentive. Big incentive still for Leinster.
Off feet, skipper!
Marsh. Dave Carney.
Tackler.
Gibson Park. Jordy Murphy. Some tired bodies out there now. Not so Marsh, he's only just come on. Kirshner.
Let it go, Leinster, let it go!
Clock goes red. To go along with those red faces, all the effort given. But Jamison Gibson Park loses the ball, and there goes the chance of the bonus point, it seems. Ferguson did really well, covered a lot of ground there.
Yellow offside if you need it.
And Glasgow are going for a flourish here. Hogg to Jones. All the men on the inside, lots of them. Ball goes out. Doesn't matter for the Warriors. They've won anyway. What a way to start the season this is. 2 victories against 2 main title rivals. Connacht last weekend, a thumping win. This much closer. Leinster certainly had their moments, and at half-time were pretty well placed. But a very, very strong second-half performance from the Glasgow Warriors. And in particular, Tommy Seymour, with those 4 match tries as man of the match. A very, very special day for him.
Well, 5 tries for Glasgow, 5 points for Glasgow. A fantastic performance from them. They had to work really hard because Leinster came back at them hard. There was a period in the game when Leinster's defensive pattern seemed to be in control of the game. When you consider how many big-name Irishmen were missing today, you cannot write off Leinster. They look a sharper team today than they did last week. They look a sharper team this season than they did last season. They will not often concede 5 tries. They will not often meet someone like Tommy Seymour. Leinster go away with nothing, but they are real contenders this season. Glasgow, they're going to be right there. We knew that last week in Galway. We know it now, if you needed any doubt. Glasgow, the team to beat. Leinster, they're going to be chasing hard.
We've had some fantastic game of rugby here today. I think it's been a great testament to the new pitch, to both teams, the attacking mindset of both teams. Glasgow won't be delighted with that. They conceded too many tries for their liking. Leinster came through everything at it, and as both Miles and Stewart picked up on in commentary, really deserved to leave here with at least a point. But Glasgow capitalised, they made it work, and they've come away with 5